Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I wanted to talk about Phil Spencer's the interview with Phil Spencer in a little bit more detail. I have watched it twice now, so I kind of want to, just elaborate on some of the things that I've already said, that I've already seen, and that have inspired me to really care about the Xbox brand, more than I ever have before. So when I listened to what Phil Spencer was saying and how he was describing things, is pretty much like that's kind of the way I've been thinking about it the whole time anyways. Like, I see Game Pass as this driving force to bring more people to the Xbox ecosystem, but to also give Xbox a platform to continue to create games that are more diverse. Now, most Xbox fans are looking over the fence at PlayStation and seeing games like God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West, Burning Shores, all of these games launching, and looking at Xbox and being like, man, why don't we have any of that stuff? Xbox has more of I want to say, like a different type of ecosystem that I've always been able to look at, as a PlayStation fan. I've always been able to look at and be like, okay, man, well, if I want to play first person shooters, I'm going to go to Xbox. If I want to play my third person over the shoulder games, I'm going to stay with PlayStation. And that's kind of the way I think a lot of PlayStation gamers look at Xbox, because that's kind of the way I did, I mean, for me, games like Halo and Call of Duty and other types of first person shooter games were synonymous with that Xbox platform. Multiplayer games. Most people that play PlayStation are into that single player experience, and that's just how it is. That's how I was. That's how that fan base looks at that platform, and it's not a bad thing, man. That's you've been playing PlayStation for a while, and that's just kind of the feeling that you get, that single player, that story game. And never really was super big on the first person shooters till about the PlayStation 3 4 started leaning more toward that way, started bringing more people in there. But when you take into consideration what PlayStation has been able to achieve across 5 generations now, that's incredible. They've been able to pretty much stay on top the whole time, and that is through tactics like keeping games off Xbox or Nintendo. That is heavily investing in their first party studios, and they've put out other games. I mean, like, there was Dreams, and like some other stuff that came to PlayStation platform that were more in line with kind of where Xbox is taking the Xbox brand this generation. Now, you heard Phil Spencer say that trying to go out there and sell more Xboxes than what PlayStation and Nintendo is doing, to him, that's not necessarily a realistic goal, and that's not a bad thing, guys. You have to understand, when he said losing last generation was a bad generation to lose, he was right. A lot of us, even myself included, I switched all over to digital video games. I buy all my games digital now. So giving up, so say I had over 200 PlayStation 4 games at the beginning of this generation. Going to PlayStation 5 and having access to those immediately after spending $500 on a console, getting into the new generation, you have a lot of games to play. Xbox, same way. I had more Xbox games. I had bought more games on my Xbox platform throughout the rest of that time. So I had enough games on both of them. And to not buy a PlayStation 5 after investing that much money into that platform, that's just crazy. Now, some people now there is still a market for the people that do physical. For the people that do physical, there is still a market for them to gain more console sales through that. But also having the Xbox Series S for the people that are on PlayStation to be able to pick one of those up and to be able to enjoy Xbox games, and still have that console experience and still be able to enjoy Xbox games through Game Pass is kind of what they're trying to do. They want Xbox to to be a platform for its fans with Xbox One X or Series X. But they also want people that are on PlayStation or Nintendo to be able to pick up an Xbox Series S as that companion system, because a lot of gamers are like that. A lot of gamers are like that. They'll have their main, which used to be my PlayStation. I used to buy all my third party there. Then I switched that over to Xbox, and I buy all my third party on Xbox. So Xbox is now essentially considered my number one platform and where I do the majority of my gaming. So I get what he's saying. But then you also have another metric on top of this, which is PC. All of Xbox first-party games go to PC day and date. So essentially, if you're older and you have the money, yeah, man, like you don't necessarily need an Xbox as much as you would need a PlayStation to play PlayStation first-party games, or as much as you would need a Switch to play Nintendo first-party games. Like you don't necessarily 100% need an Xbox, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. After buying my PC and being able to experience my first-party Xbox games on the PC, like I'm ecstatic about that. If you're a PlayStation fan, you would have to buy those games again. You would have to buy those games again on PC, and that is just more money. That's what I've had to do with my PlayStation first-party games. I've had to buy a second copy on the PC, whereas on the Xbox, I already had those. I already had those games. Now, let's talk about the future and what Xbox has to offer, because it's pretty simple. It really is pretty simple. I said this the other day before Phil Spencer even did his meeting, and I mean it. The Xbox Game Pass platform has the potential to grow the to grow Xbox a lot more. Now, these studios that they've picked up, some of them are going to be low budget studios. Some of them are going to be mid-range studios, and some of them are going to be high-range studios. When they drop their games into Xbox, onto Game Pass, when the more successful these games are, the faster these studios are going to grow, the more budget they're going to make. And like I said, if you do a job and you keep doing it, you continuously get better at it. So they will start to get better as they release more content. PlayStation first-party studios have released countless games, each of them. They keep getting better with every single game they launch. And that's what we need from these studios from Xbox. We need them to take chances. We need them to take risks. And we need them to do that with the security of Game Pass to help them grow. Redfall came out, wasn't really received high from a lot of people. It's 100% playable. It's easily a playable game, an average game. You can play it, you can download it. But Arcane Austin's next game will be better because they've learned a lot by building that. So now they can branch out and continue to explore and make new things. Like I said, when the budget grows for these games that are successful on the Xbox platform, that is where you will start to see true growth. Did Xbox reboot when Game Pass launched? Yes, it did. That was the reboot. We're about 5-6 years into Game Pass now, and we're starting to see, we're going to start seeing more stuff as it grows. Like, it is going to take a little bit of time, my friends. It's not just something that's going to happen overnight. There are some games that are in the works that are clearly AAA, high budget games that are going to be coming out in this year. Like this year, you're going to get Starfield. You're going to get. You might get Hellblade 2, and you are going to get Forza. Like, you are going to get these experiences, but you're still going to be waiting a little bit. Like, I would say that this generation will truly blossom around 2024. It'll start to blossom more around the end of 2024 into 2025 is when you'll start to see like some of this heavy investment that Xbox has been doing, like really into this. Hopefully what they got coming for the rest of the year is enough to keep the people that are, I guess Xbox players only play Xbox first party games, so I hope that is enough. But I'm more optimistic now about the future of Xbox after hearing Phil Spencer talk, because what he's saying is basically like, hey guys, you need to temper your expectations to a certain point, because this is what we're doing and this is the plan, and we're full steam ahead with our plan. And yes, those games that you want are in there, but I've told you a million times that, like, yeah guys, we got more stuff coming, but we just haven't delivered it yet, but we will deliver it. So I don't know, man. Let's judge Xbox after, we get, Hellblade 2 and all these other games. Let's judge them, let's help them. Let's give them constructive feedback. Let's be genuine in our beliefs or what's going to happen. I don't think it's unrealistic for any Xbox fan right now to demand a better experience. Like, I don't think that's unrealistic. I think that's fair. And they've been pretty transparent with us about the stuff that they're working on. So for the most part, we'll see. I don't want to get to, the showcase and be like, oh yeah, get all hyped up for a bunch of stuff that's like years out. I want them to be able to deliver something close to that, and I want them to be able to continue to deliver at least something every quarter for the rest of this generation. And I want them to be able to still take risks. I don't want Xbox to be safe, play it safe like PlayStation or anybody else. I want them to take chances, and I want them to create experiences that are meaningful, man. Like, I love Grounded. I think that's a cool game. Sea of Thieves is a cool game. I want them to continue to build these games that are going to bring more people that would have never came to the Xbox platform without that type of an experience. I want them to keep doing what they're doing, and I want them to do a better job at it and get better. So if you like this content, don't forget to like it, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.